In this short video, we're going to have a look at expenses and goals. In a previous video, we looked at the timeline and events and stages, and we added an event for when Grace and John want to buy a new car, and also a new stage for when they want to go on their lots of holidays in retirement. We're now going to add the values to that, so the money going out, and we can do these either in expenses or by using goals. Now, I haven't put any income in yet, but the income that you see coming in on the cash flow chart here is because we have Emily in the chart. Emily is their child and qualifies, and I've left it on qualifying for child benefit, so that's what we're seeing at the moment. I've done nothing else, so we might see that they can't afford to do what they want to do in buying a new car or to go on holiday in retirement. Of course, future videos will put incomes in and pensions, etc. So what's the difference between an expense and a goal? Well, they both remove money from the plan, but a goal is a trackable expense which clearly demonstrates whether your client is on track. There are no firm rules that govern what should be classed as either a goal or an expense, or whether this should be prioritised as essentials like basics or then into leisure spending or luxuries. It's up to you and how your clients thinks of these expenditures. The most important distinction though between expenses and goals is that goals offer unique features in the software which are intended to help spotlight them during presentations, whereas the expenses are mostly working in the background and the software calculates their future cash flow. But we'll see what I mean. So we have the event where they want to buy a new car, and I'm going to add this as a expense. So to do that, I'm going to click on the plus button in the bottom right hand corner and click on expenses. Now we have lots of options. Multi-year means it's an expense that covers a number of years in the plan. The default is from the start to the end of the plan, but in this case I'm going to click on a single year expense. I'm going to have the owner as Grace and John, and I'm just going to call it the new car. I'm going to give it an amount of 30,000. It's not tax deductible, and this is the priority. It's not a basic expense, it's more of a luxury expense, so I'm going to move that down there. And the car that they're looking at is €30,000 at the moment, but when they want to buy it in a few years' time, it will probably be more than that. So I'm going to leave it as a present value and let the inflation rate from your plan settings inflate that 30,000 value there. Now I'm going to go to timing on the left hand side and tell the software when I want to buy it. So I'm going to click on the car icon and drag it into the expense occurs box, and then click on done. So you can now see here that the small bit of child benefit we've got in the plan will not cover the purchase of that expense, and this just shows there is a shortfall in there. So you've added the expense and it shows here in dashboard, and there it is. So let's see the difference if we were to add a goal. Now I'm going to add a goal of them wanting to spend lots of money on their holidays in retirement. So I'm going to say €25 a year. They're really going to splash out on these holidays. So I'm going to do this as a goal, and you'll be able to see the difference. So I'm going to do the plus button in the bottom right hand corner and then click on the goals tile. We have lots of different ones. We can set them to pre-retirement and retirement. We also have the milestone goal, which is the same as the single year expense. So I'm going to choose retirement goal because when we do this, they have already retired. So I'm clicking on the retirement goal and I'm just going to call it holidays in retirement. And I'm going to give it the amount of the €25,000 per annum over that 10-year period. So it's a lot of money, and again, it's a leisure. It's not a basic, it's something that they'd like to have, so it can be leisure or luxury. Now I'm just going to go to the timing. Because we've said this is a retirement goal, the default timing from it is it's going to go from Grace's retirement to the youngest person, in this case John's, mortality. So it's going through the whole of that old retirement stage, but I only want it to happen here. So There is another way to do this. I've shown you that you can drag and drop events, but because it's just relating to this stage, I can also click on the stage, and you can see that I have now got the timing of this goal just in this stage. So I'm going to click done. Now you'll see on the chart that it still shows as red on the chart, that they cannot fulfill. There's a shortfall, but the difference being is you have a separate section for goals and it shows you the goal progress, and that's what we mean about it being trackable. I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you for watching.